Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title, we are going to be discussing Black mental health and why it is so important to talk about mental health in the Black community. I'm going to also share, my journey through mental health and the challenges that I faced along the way, and hopefully that will encourage you and be a blessing to you to let you know that you are not the only person, or the people that you know are not the only people that have been or are going through any challenges when it comes to mental health. So why did I do this video? Why did I want to post this video? Well, I think that mental health amongst the Black community is something that is not talked about a lot. It's not dealt with. It is something that is swept under the rug. Now, I will say that we have gotten a lot better when it comes to the Black community with discussing things, but we still have a lot of work to do. I know a lot of people, even myself, a lot of people that come from a background in the Black community where it comes to, what happens in this house stays in this house, don't tell our family business, just things of that sort. And that is coming from a place of brokenness, but there's also no healing that can come from that. There's no healing and truth that can come from that mindset. So, I just really wanted to post this video to open the dialogue and to talk about mental health, especially as being a believer. The assumption and the myth is that people think because you are a believer, because you are a Christian, okay, because you believe in God, that you will never experience any challenges in life. You will never have any issues when it comes to mental health. And that is the biggest lie. That is the biggest misconception, is that people who are believers do not go through hard times. People think that, it's going to be an easy path. Everything is going to be smooth sailing. Nope, sorry. It's not like that at all. It's just not. And I will say that, a lot of the times, as soon as you have a made up mind that you are going to be on this particular path, that is when certain challenges will come your way. But I will say and share with you my history when it comes to mental health. So back in 2013, probably 2012, 2013, I was going through a lot of anxiety and I was having really bad panic attacks. It was at a place to where I was afraid to go to sleep. I was waking up out of fear, like panicking, gasping for air. It was really, really, really bad. And again, it got to a place where I didn't want to go to sleep. I had insomnia. I was staying up, watching TV shows, watching movies, and that would literally put me to sleep. I didn't know at the time what the root of that was and why I was going through anxiety and having anxious thoughts and going through panic attacks and whatnot. But it got to a place to where I was just really tired of going through the motions when it came to anxiety. And it would especially just come out of nowhere. It would happen out of nowhere. And I'm like, why am I feeling like this? I'm not used to feeling this way. Well, I didn't know that anxiety has been something that has happened in past generations in my family. And I didn't know because it wasn't talked about, which brings me back to my point. We as a culture, and even in our families, we have to have these discussions. We have to let people know what's going on with us, how we're feeling, and just find that safe place, that safe place and that safe space of whoever it may be, to let them know what is going on so you can get the necessary help that you need. So anyone who knows me knows that I'm a person that is very strong-willed, and my mind is made up when it comes to not taking medication. And I was definitely in that thing of, I don't want to be put on any kind of medication for anxiety. So I ended up watching this commercial on TV. It ended up coming on, and I truly believe that it was by the grace of God that I saw it. And it's some company, a treatment center in California, and they have CDs that you can listen to where it talks about anxiety and panic attacks and overcoming those things. And there's also a workbook. Well, I started doing that. And when I tell you, it tremendously was a blessing. And I believe that through that and prayer, it really, really helped. So fast forward, there was a years and years gap between dealing with anxiety and overcoming that, and then going into depression and dealing with suicidal thoughts. So When it came to depression and suicidal thoughts, there was a lot that I was going through at the time. I had been unemployed for over a year. I was still dealing with the grief and the loss of my grandfather, who I was very close to, extremely close to. And just dealing with that in itself. Grief is a thing that comes in waves, and there is no particular time frame when it comes to grief. And I didn't know that at the time. So I was almost kind of putting pressure on myself to get past it and to make sure everyone else was okay. I was used to being that person to make sure that everyone else was okay. And I put myself and my healing on the back burner. So my advice in this moment right here, right now, is do not put yourself, your healing, your self-care on the back burner for anyone else. I do not care who it is. You are important. You matter. Your purpose matters. Your life matters. Your mental health matters. And so just make sure that you're making time for yourself. You cannot give what you don't have, and you cannot give from an empty well. So just wanted to say that real quick. That's very important. Now, when it came to depression, again, I think that it was just particular things, outside circumstances. It was the being unemployed for, like I said, over a year, dealing with the grief of my grandfather, the loss of my grandfather. There were also things where, I'm used to having a certain financial status, and I didn't at the time. And I was being hard on myself. I felt like I was giving my best and giving my all, and it still was not working, and it was not enough. And it was almost a thing of guilt and shame too when it came to being unemployed. And at the end of the day, I think it was, like I said, prayer and having those discussions and getting the help. And like I mentioned before, talk to someone, talk to a counselor, talk to a therapist, talk to your pastor, whoever that person may be that you can get some guidance from, some true wisdom from, to get whole and healed from that. But yeah, I mean, y'all, it was a very dark time, and it got as bad as, the enemy trying to tell me when to kill myself, how to kill myself. I mean, I remember sitting on my bed being in tears because I was moments away from making that decision to check out. I mean, I was so scared. I was at a point where I was truly scared that I was going to follow through with that. And then I just thought about, how my family would feel, and people that love me and care about me, how they would feel if I were to end it all. And I think the enemy sometimes will make us feel like things are worse than what they are. And it's not that what we go through is not bad. That's not what I'm saying at all. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is still hope in Jesus. And at the end of the day, going through depression and going through anxiety and panic attacks and overcoming all of that, it has brought me to a place of true faith in God. And it has grown my relationship with God so much, that I don't regret it all, and I know that sounds crazy, but I truly, truly don't, because I feel like I have evolved into a different person. I have evolved and grown into more of who God has called me to be and purposed me to be. So I truly hope that this video has helped you. It has encouraged you. Again, if you are going through any depression, anxiety, you are having panic attacks, you are having suicidal thoughts, please get help. Have the conversation. Do not let pride, do not let any kind of arrogance, do not let any kind of, again, it goes back to pride, wanting people to feel like you have it all together. None of us have it all together. Nobody has it all together. People that post stuff on social media, they only post a percentage of things, and a lot of the things that they post are positive things, and sometimes they're even over exaggerated. They're not even doing all those elaborate things that they're posting. It's a smoke screen. So don't be concerned about people's opinion of you. Get the help that you need. However, whatever path that is for you, get the help that you need, and do not give up, because this is not the end for you. Again, I pray that this video encouraged you, and I hope it opened up the dialogue for you to be able to talk about mental health and mental health among the Black community. Again, one of the things, just quickly before I close, one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is that there are a lot of triggers that Black people deal with on a daily basis. Even going back to when I found out a Black gentleman had been killed and gunned down like worse than an animal in the middle of the street. You know, he was going for a run, and I go for runs and I go for walks all the time. And it took me a while to be comfortable with doing that again, because I was very nervous and even afraid that that same thing might happen to me. I'm like, okay, well, he clearly didn't think that was going to happen to him, you know, just doing his regular routine, going for a run or going for a walk. And there's just certain triggers, you know, even when it comes to post-traumatic stress from back in the day from slavery, you know, the things that Black people have gone through and overcome. A lot of people say it happened in the past, get over it. But guys, you will never know what it's like to be a Black person and to be called the N-word, and to have your purse, you know, someone grab their purse and pull it away, or, you know, someone not want to be near you because you're a Black person. Like, you will never know what that feels like unless you are a Black person. So I hope that, again, this opens up the dialogue, and it just opens the door for us to have these conversations and to be transparent. So again, have a blessed day. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was encouraging to you, and it opens up the dialogue to talk about Black mental health and that it matters. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and until next time, I will talk to you soon.